I like these improvements to the TARDIS. Hello everyone, it's DoKiller, and I'm coming to you from Minecraft 1.8, where, as I'm sure you're aware, a new version of the Dalek mod, a beta build has been released for the Dalek mod in 1.8. And so this includes a lot of new features. We got a new TARDIS interior, new blocks, fewer items, new TARDIS panels, all kinds of stuff. And so today I was going to talk to you about a feature that is now possible to do with the Dalek mod, now that it is in 1.8, and I'm referring to these guys right here. These are little Dalek statues, and you'll see they're not moving anywhere. If I go into survival mode, they won't shoot at me, they won't respond. And this is now possible because 1.8 adds a NoAI option into any mob. And NoAI, well, an AI is short for artificial intelligence. It's what makes the mob like move around and attack the player and things like that. It's kind of how the mob behaves. So if you have the option to get mobs now with no AI, and therefore they'll just sit there and look pretty, like statues. So I was going to show you how you can do this with the Dalek mod, and you can make your own custom Dalek statues. So let's head over here. And to start out, we're going to use the summon command, and we're going to summon a DMDalekBase. That's what Daleks are called in the Dalek mod. And I'm going to use the lambda to take it to my current position. And now we're going to open up some squiggly brackets, and we're going to say no AI, :1. And important to note here that it has to be the capital letters as you see them, otherwise it won't work. So it has to be exactly like that. We hit enter, we have the Dalek, and as you can see, he's not moving, he's not going anywhere. So now then, we can also edit him a little bit further to give him a pose. As you know, in 1.8, the Daleks have new animations where they can change their little guns and raise and lower their eye stalks and that. And so we can do this now. We can edit this statue using the entitydata command. So we can do it like so. We are going to target the nearest entity, and then we're going to say that that type specifically is the DMDalekBase, so we don't accidentally edit anything else. Then we're going to open up some more squiggly brackets, and let's just say r equals, say, 3. That'll call any Daleks within a 3-block radius of ourselves. And then we're going to say rotation, and some brackets. And now we can alter this guy's rotation. So the first value I'm going to do 0.0f, and now I'm going to say, well, let's say 30.0f, and you'll see he lowers his gun. And if we do -30, he will raise it, and he has a pretty smooth animation. And so these values are just given off of a 360-degree scale, so this is -30 degrees, and it goes around in a circle from a fixed point. So that is how you can pose them with cool little animations, and if not a special weapons Dalek but a different type, you can see he'll raise and lower his gun arms. So also, I know the animation, the arms can kind of stick out in different directions. I'm not sure if I can edit that on here. There might be a third value. We can find out. It might do nothing. Nope. It just changed him to the 30 that was right here. So apparently not. But now you can still make him raise and lower his gun in that. Now one thing you might notice about these guys is that they are vulnerable. You can kill them. So a proper statue, you shouldn't be able to kill it. So let's use the summon command again and call in another DMDalekBase and give him no AI. Another special weapons Dalek. Alright, so now that we have him, in order to not be able to hit him, we're going to use entitydata again. Actually, I'll use that one as we did before. And then we'll call in a different value called invulnerable, and then 1 and a lowercase letter b. If we do that, as you can see, he is now invulnerable. And if you shoot an arrow at him, the arrow will bounce off and he cannot be hurt. So that is more like a proper statue. Alright, so one more thing is that you might notice that if I do summon in a DMDalekBase, it will summon the Dalek in at random.
Stop thinking that universe could stop the Daleks!
Alright, so how, you might ask, can we get a specific type of Dalek? Say you want a 70s Asylum Dalek C, for instance. Well, it's very simple. You can summon in the DalekBase, the DMDalek, and then using entitydata. Just a second to type it out again. Actually, I'll use one that I already used here. We can call in yet another value, and this is called DalekID. And then after this, you can use a number. Now, I think it goes from about 0 to 50-ish, maybe 52 now. And say if we do 1, he'll turn into an ordinary 60s Dalek. If we say 17, it'll change that Dalek type. We can try, I don't know, 36. He's now the red movie Dalek. And so you can experiment with these different values. And I don't know off the top of my head what the ID numbers are, but I believe they start with the 60s Daleks and they go through the Asylum Daleks, and then the new Paradigm Daleks, the movie Daleks, and then some other ones. And I know that the Supreme Controller Dalek, this guy here, is number 50, and I think 51 is the Pink Fluffy Fez Dalek. So, yeah, if you ever want to know what the ID of a specific Dalek is, you can spawn in the Dalek that you want, you can use the entitydata command, and then you can leave these brackets blank, and that will give you his entire structure, and the last value here is his Dalek ID. And so this guy has a Dalek ID of 17. Alright, so that doesn't just work with Daleks, it works with every type of mob in the Dalek mod, and even vanilla mobs and other modded mobs. So you can do the exact same thing, let's just say with a Cyberman, for instance. We can summon a Cyberman, and then we can give him NoAI, and there we have it. And we can do the exact same thing with him. We can use entitydata. Sorry if my typing's a bit slow. Type equals, there we are. And then we can use rotation again. Let's say negative 45. There we are. And it'll lift his head up. And so yeah, if you wanted to hook this up to command blocks, I'm sure you could get something where his head rotates in a circle or something like that if you ever wanted to. But yeah, you can do the exact same thing with any mob in the Dalek mod, as I was saying. And so the same thing that we did with the Daleks, you can do with the Cyberman to change their ID, except they have a Cyberman ID. And we can alter that. So 1 is the new Dalek, or the new Cyberman, I mean. 2 is the Cyber Villager, 10th Planet, and then finally the Cyber Leader. And again, the same goes for the Autons. They have an Auton ID, and I believe I've noticed with the Clockwork Droid that his ID is just a little bit different. I believe he has a Clockwork Droid ID, as you would expect. But I believe there's a space between Clockwork and Droid. I think. Yep, there we go. I think there's only a couple types, but 1 and 2. I think there's 3 types of Clockwork Droids, but yeah, just 3. So that's how you can change the Clockwork Droids, and it should be very similar. Again, if you ever wanted to find it out, just go up to the entity, use the entitydata command, and you can target whatever mob it is. This is in any mod, and vanilla even, so you can do that, and then you can look here and you can find out snowman ID, and this guy has an ID of 0. And you can use that in the entitydata command to change it. And one last thing I wanted to go over is with the empty child here. Let's spawn one of these in. There we are. And you can hear him saying, "Are you my mommy?" over and over again. So let's just say you want him to be a nice statue and you don't want him to make any noise. Or you can keep him like that and scare somebody, but if you wanted not to make any noise, there's a very simple thing to do. Again, with the entitydata command, you can do DM gas mask zombie, and then you can call in a value called silent with the capital S. Change that to 1, and I must have spelled his name wrong. I forgot the K. Okay, that's not right either. Okay, it's lowercase m. Sorry, guys. That should work. Now we notice he's not making any noise. And if we hit him, he won't even make any hit sounds. And so that is how you can make your own Dalek Mod statues out of all the Dalek Mod mobs. Alright, the last thing that I wanted to go over is about the directions that the statues face in. So you've probably noticed that everything we've spawned in so far is always facing towards the south. And there should be a way of getting your statues to rotate in any direction. So I have tried this in Forge 1.8 and I cannot get it to work. There is a way of doing it. I've tried it in vanilla and I can get the vanilla mobs to rotate in any direction, but in Forge, even the vanilla mobs and all the modded ones, I cannot get them to change the direction that they're facing in. So to demonstrate this, if we just summon in a Dalek, if I can do this right, you'll see he spawns in facing towards the south. And if we try to rotate him using the entitydata command, you'll see that I put in here 180 degrees, and this first value should change the direction that he's facing in. So 180 should flip him over so that he's facing towards the north. But if you'll see, it does put the 180 in here in his tag, but he does not change his direction. And I think, again, this might be a Forge bug. I don't know what's going on, but that should be how you can get the mobs to rotate any direction, but for some reason it won't work. And if anybody knows a fix for this, I'd be happy to hear it, because I've spent hours trying to get them to change the way they've been facing. And also, another important thing, I don't think I mentioned it, but in the rotation, you'll notice that we have the F here and the decimal. These have to be in here. The F stands for float, and that's just the way Minecraft stores these numbers, but it has to be in here in order for that value to work. It's just important, otherwise it won't work. So the only other way I can think of getting mobs to spawn facing a different direction is to spawn them in as a proper living entity, get them to change the direction that they're facing in, and then use entitydata to give them NoAI. And where's he going? There he is. So now that he's facing a different direction, you can use NoAI. And I think I have to get closer. Okay, now he's a statue. And you'll see that now he is facing a different direction. So that is the only way I know of getting them to face another direction. That's to spawn them in, get them to face where you want them to, and then give them NoAI. However, that being said, if you log out and log back in, he'll be facing towards the south again. I don't know why he does that, but that's the way it is. I really think it's a Forge bug, so I wanted to bring that up in case anybody was wondering. So I hope you enjoyed, guys, and have fun. I'd love to see what people can do with this. As I said, you can make them move around in that if you hook them up to command blocks. I'm sure there's a lot of cool stuff that can be done. But that's all for now. and have fun playing the Dalek mod in Minecraft 1.8. I'll see you all later, guys.